Hello everyone and welcome to Tech Fix Flicks. In the last tutorial we performed a clean installation of Windows 10. We pick up immediately where we left off with a fresh installation of Windows lacking any form of customization and software installation. If this is your first installation or reinstallation, you will very quickly realise that much of what you take for granted in your day-to-day computing will need to be built from the ground up. The first step is very straightforward. Windows helpfully opens a copy of Edge displaying a welcome screen. For now, we'll close that using the icon in the upper right corner, and we will look at browser choices and installations in our next tutorial. With the browser window closed, we have our first unobstructed view of the Windows desktop. During this tutorial, we will make some cosmetic changes to this view, as well as more substantial updates. The very first thing to check is that your system has access to the internet, which is absolutely fundamental to everything we wish to accomplish in these tutorials. Hovering the mouse pointer over the network icon, we can see that, in this instance, we already have internet access. Here we are using a wired Ethernet connection with one end plugged into the computer and the other directly into the router. This is the simplest connection to the internet. Alternatively, you may connect wirelessly via Wi-Fi. If you don't have a connection at this time, check our tutorial on connecting to the internet. The first cosmetic change is to clear the desktop of clutter. This is a stylistic preference, and you may prefer to have all your icons affixed to the desktop for ease of access. This tutorial series will rely on launching applications from the taskbar, leaving the desktop largely unobstructed, save for the recycling bin. The Microsoft Edge icon already appears on the taskbar, so an additional appearance on the desktop seems like unnecessary duplication. Remove it by right-clicking on it, then clicking Delete. Note that this purely deletes the shortcut and not the program or the taskbar shortcut. Tip: to bypass the bin, hold the Shift key whilst selecting Delete. You will be asked to confirm the deletion. Click Yes to do so. The icon moves to the recycle bin. You can leave it here to restore later if you wish, but you can permanently delete it by right-clicking the bin and selecting Empty Recycle Bin from the menu. We now have a clear desktop and an empty recycle bin. As mentioned, we are going to use the taskbar for many of our shortcuts, but the bar is dominated by Cortana's search function, which occupies almost 1/3 of the total area. If you use this search function, or intend to, this may be worth retaining, but for many, the function is never used and can be compacted. Right-click on the white area or any unused area of the taskbar to bring up this menu. Move upward to Cortana and the three further options appear to the right. Click on Hidden to hide the search box. You can reverse this at any time or use a Cortana icon as a compromise. Now we've reclaimed a large area on the taskbar to install additional shortcuts. You will see how this space is used in forthcoming tutorials. One final icon to remove at this stage, the People icon, is designed to offer quick access to most used contacts. If you've yet to be convinced of this function and don't use it, simply right-click on it or any blank area of the taskbar and select Show People on the taskbar, and the icon is removed. This process can be reversed by following the same steps and reapplying the tick. The changes have thus far been cosmetic and are entirely a matter of personal choice, but the following changes are fundamental. You might think that a brand new installation of Windows, particularly one downloaded from the web, would be up to date. Whilst this is true to an extent, there are likely to be changes to both the Windows system itself and the default Windows Store apps, even on a new install. We will start with the Windows Store apps for two reasons. Firstly, they will attempt to automatically update, and secondly, these updates are quick and easy to install, and getting them out of the way will free up both bandwidth and processing power to deal with the more significant system updates toward the end of this tutorial. Click on the shopping bag icon to open the Windows Store. Once the loading screen has disappeared, you will see the store front. The content of this page changes regularly, so don't be surprised if it does not resemble this one. Move your mouse pointer to the three dots in the upper right corner and click. From the menu that appears, select Downloads and Updates. Here is a list of your apps. You might think that the fact that they were modified minutes ago means that they are up to date. This is unlikely to be the case, so click on Get Updates to find out. As the process begins, note that 31 applications join the download queue in this example. You may have more or less. At this point, you can let the device plough through the work of downloading and installing the updates, and you might wish to take a break for a few moments whilst these apps are updated. Occasionally, you will be thrown out of the update screen, as has happened in this example after just 2 completed updates. Clicking the downward arrow, which also shows the number of updates remaining, will take you back to the download overview. We rejoin the process with 8 more updates to proceed. And some moments later, we appear to be done. Sometimes there are additional updates, so it's worth clicking on the Get Updates icon a second time and again allowing any further processes to complete. If you see a message advising that you're good to go, you can be confident that you have completed the updates to the Windows Store apps. You will see some of your apps by clicking on the Start menu in the lower left corner. From the same menu, move your pointer to the Settings cog and click on it. The Windows Settings panel will open. We need the Update and Security feature, which is not immediately visible at this stage, so click on the Maximize icon in the upper right corner to display the full range of options. Update and Security is the last of the settings options. Let's click on it. In this instance, the system is already checking for updates. If this is the case, wait for it to complete. A row of horizontal moving dots will be active whilst the check is in progress. If a check is not already in progress, you can set it in motion by clicking on the button marked Check for Updates. You will need to be patient here, as the check for updates can take some time, as can the downloading and installing of new updates. Here, the process of downloading and installing is in progress. It is likely that the system will need to restart to install the updates, possibly on multiple occasions. Click Restart Now when prompted, but be aware that this will close any other running programs, so ensure that you have saved anything else you may be working on. The device now restarts. This process may take a little while, so you may wish to take a break. Make sure that your device is plugged in when updating, as a power loss may occur as key files are being updated, which can be highly detrimental to the system. As the installation progresses, the updates will configure and assemble, and you will see a percentage indication, before finally being returned to your lock screen. If you are following our tutorials in a step-by-step manner, this will be the first time that you have been asked to input the PIN created during installation. It is unlikely that all necessary updates will be installed on the first pass, and you will need to repeat the process of checking for and installing updates a second, third, fourth or more times as necessary. Don't necessarily believe that you are up to date until new updates are no longer being installed when you check. In this instance, more updates were installed on a second run-through, which required another restart. But, on the third attempt, all new updates were exhausted. Your machine is now fully updated. This will free up your machine's processing power, as well as your internet connection, to perform other tasks more effectively. With Windows sufficiently updated, the final phase of this session is to change the display resolution to match the monitor. It is likely that Windows will have installed in a lower resolution than your display is capable of, and you can obtain a higher resolution with a simple change to the settings. Right-click a blank area of the desktop and select Display Settings. Here we are running at 1024 by 768, which is below the optimal resolution of the monitor. Clicking the drop-down box produces a series of resolutions supported by the display. You can check that you have obtained the optimal resolution for your monitor, either via the manufacturer's website or on the packaging materials, or you can simply click the options and evaluate your preference. We opt for 1280 by 1024 to produce a high-definition output for future tutorials. The monitor will temporarily display at the new resolution, and you will have 15 seconds to confirm your selection. If the selected resolution produces an image which cannot be read on your screen, Simply waiting 15 seconds will revert to the original resolution. We're happy with this, so we'll keep changes. With the resolution selected, we can close the display page using the icon in the upper right corner and return to our desktop. That concludes our steps immediately following installation. In the next tutorial, we will be looking at our choices for web browsers and performing the installation process for some of the popular candidates. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Hopefully you found it useful. If you'd like more, you are very welcome to subscribe to the TechFixFlix YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button. Subscription is, of course, entirely free and provides easy access to all of the videos posted here. Clicking on the neighbouring bell icon means you will be notified whenever a new video is posted. Until your next Tech Fix, goodbye.